Hello everybody, my name's Llama Joe and welcome to my channel. Alright, we are back with the letter. Guys, it is 2018, it's a new year, new me, we're gonna get some recordings done. I haven't recorded in weeks, and that is a shame in and of itself. Now admittedly, the holidays have happened, and I recently had someone pass away, dealt with a funeral, dealt with all that, been working a bunch, dealt with a lot of my own personal things, but we're back and I'm at it. There's about 5 or 6 episodes of the letter that I have not posted yet. I uploaded them like a month ago, and I still haven't posted them publicly. They're uploaded privately, but I need to post them publicly. So I apologize if I'm a little behind on here, because compared to what I'll probably try and get on a semi-decent upload schedule again. Hopefully. I'm hoping I can at least get 3 uploads a week. If I can do that, then I'm doing good. So I am going to try and do that. But tonight, right here, right now, I am not going to sleep. I've got a whole bottle of wine. I've been drinking some of that. I've had about 3 glasses now. I'm feeling a little good. I've never been wine drunk before, so this will be interesting. And we are finishing the letter. It's going to happen. I don't care. I don't work tomorrow. I didn't work today. I don't work tonight. So, it's right now my time, Central Time. It's almost 8 p.m. And, yeah, we're just going to keep on playing. We are finishing this game tonight. I'm going to start in some other games. So, now, even though we're finishing the game tonight, I mean, you guys want to, but you'll just see that I'm wearing the same shirt throughout all of these recordings. So, but we're going to get this done. And I'm really excited. We're going to get through Rebecca. Then after Rebecca, we got Ashton. And then finally, we've got Luke, our most hated character. I remember, from what I remember last time that happened with Rebecca, she met Kylie. That was the whole ordeal. Then she went to the mansion looking for Isabella. Isabella wasn't there. And there was like some little shadowy aura over Luke, which I know he's got like that little curse like possessing him in some way. It's like feeding off his negative energy or whatever, or it's like putting negative energy into him and then feeding off of that, and he's getting more negative, and then she's like reaping from his negativity, and then they're like weirdly coexisting in some negative state. I don't know. That's my theory. I don't know if it's true or not, but Rebecca noticed it, so like at least my theory about that aura existing, I knew I wasn't crazy when they showed up with Luke, not Luke, Zach. And then yeah, Rebecca is just out into town because she realized Isabella wasn't there. So I think I've already read this part before, but honestly, I'm just gonna read it again. It's been a while for me, but guys, it is 2018, new year. Technically, I have been on YouTube for a year, for all intents and purposes, but yeah, I'm really excited. There's a lot of plans I have for the new year for me personally. A lot of change is going to happen this year, and so I'm hoping with this channel that change also continues to happen, because I know I've got a lot to work on, and I've continued to do so, and all I got to say is let's do this. I've been rambling long enough. This will be probably a 20-minute episode just because I've been rambling so much. But yeah, so let's do it. The entire visit took a whole 24 minutes, and my trip to the mansion, as it turns out, is a useless endeavor in and itself. Isabella's no longer there, left shortly before I arrived. Or at least that's what the few staff who saw her assumed. None of them knew where she went, but I can take a few guesses. There are only a number of places in Luxborn she frequents, and well, she's never been the complex kind. It doesn't really take a genius to figure it out. Still, it's odd she left on her own. She could have at least waited for Miss Cooper. It would have saved her having to pay the cab's fare twice today.
And right after she was told to stay put. I mean, who does that? Oh, sod off! You don't own the road!
Rebecca's triggered. In the end, all Miss Cooper could give me were a string of apologies for my trouble and a request to let her know when I find Isabella. The whole affair didn't even last long. I probably spent more time traveling back and forth. Soon enough, I'm weaving my way back to downtown Luxborn, worried sick, and on top of that, maybe a little annoyed. Whether at the unexpected turn of events or at Isabella herself, I'd rather not think about it for now. Not when I'm already running late for Zachary's film. Besides, I'm perfectly sure that's where I'll find her. As one would expect, people are already gathered at the movie house when I get to it. The small avenue where it's located has been closed off early for many passing traffic to make way for the avid moviegoers who are sure to crowd the venue. I have to park almost a street away and walk the remaining distance because of it. Looking for them has taken a while in a crowd this big, but I eventually spot them near the entrance. Thanks to Zachary, mostly. And like I've surmised, Isabella's with
I
them.
knew it.
Wasting no time, I march over their little group. Words filled with concern tumble out of my mouth before I can stop myself.
Isabella! Oh, thank goodness. Becca, you're just in time.
An odd expression crosses her face as I hold it with both hands, but I ignore it in favor of getting a good look at her, forcing her to keep still and fix her gaze at me.
Becca, you're squishing my face. How are you? Are you all right? Why wouldn't I be?
Oh, we'll find out why she's so annoyed. I mean, we know partially why, because of her jealousy with Ash, but I feel like there's another reason. There doesn't seem to be any visible injury, nor does she appear to be in pain. Apart from a confused frown at my questions, she looks pretty much like how she would any other day. Even so, you can't really tell those things with her at first glance. The last time she got sick, she never bothered to call anyone, even me, who lives right next door. If I hadn't checked on her then, she probably would have died on her bed with the rest of us, none the wiser. It's one thing we laugh about now, but moments like those also teaches you something about a person. If anything, it has given me more reason to constantly worry about her. Excuse me, sorry. And the moment a familiar name comes up, I know my concerns right now aren't completely baseless.
Rose called me earlier.
Her expression swiftly changes, and gently as she can, Isabella pushes my hands away, yet even before she says anything, I already have a hunch how this whole thing will play out.
Oh, no, everything's good. Rose covered for me at work today.
That's not what I'm talking about. How's your head?
Then and there, the whole conversation goes down as I've imagined. She dodges my hand when I reach for the back of her head, intending to check, the said injury myself, even makes a show of hiding behind Zachary just to avoid me. Instantly, what's supposed to be a simple inquiry dissolves into a shameless game of tag. Shouting and chasing like none of us can be bothered to act like the full-grown adults we're all supposed to be. Including Ashton. I won't put it past Isabel, but Ash? Out of everyone? In fact, if that stupid smirk on his face tells me anything, he finds this whole mess amusing. Oh, for the love of...
Isabella, this isn't a laughing matter.
She did look pale when I saw her.
Wow, thanks a lot, Ashton, you traitor. I'll get you back for this, just you wait.
What? I'm just saying it as it is. If you mentioned this earlier, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
There's a moment's pause. My hand's still mid-air as my attention shifts to Ashton and the words he leaves hanging between the four of us. He doesn't meet my eye. I don't think he's even aware of what he said. But the meaning in each syllable alone is clear. And they echo. They sting. They burn.
I'm sorry. Saw her?
Yeah, they arrived together. Bella looked fine to me then. I don't know.
Of course. Of course! Why else would Isabella leave on her own after being told to stay put? After that little chit-chat about money this morning. Something close to silence falls when I mull over their words, both what's already been said and what's left unspoken. When I do find my voice, it only reeks with nothing but bitter, unpleasant thoughts. Thoughts I quickly stamp out before they surface. Thoughts I hide the best I can in the deepest parts of my mind, locking away for no one else to see.
Oh, that's good. At least she didn't have to travel alone, right? At least.
Ugh.
Good.
Ugh. Yet, try as I might, the green-eyed monster easily rears its ugly head. Yep. Jealousy! Got him! Like it always does every time his gaze lingers a second longer. Every time he smiles in a manner far too gentle, far too sincere. Whenever he thinks no one can see. Every time my mind suggests his words mean more than they should. Every small little thing. Despite what he says, despite his
Look,
tone.
you guys.
For all I know, it may just be the same kind of fondness born from friendship. Maybe I'm simply overthinking, like he often tells me, and maybe there really is something there. But in his short display of impatience, I know the whole of it is just for show. After all, growing up together with him didn't teach me nothing about him. For whose sake is it is this time, though? For him? For Zachary? For her? Or for me? That I can't tell.
If she says she's okay, then there's nothing we can do about it. It's not like we can stop her either. Besides, she's still acting like the same old Isabella to me. if she can still run around like that.
Why are you taking her side?
I'm not. But if she wants to watch Zach's movie with us, I'm not going to stop her. She's probably the one looking forward to it the most.
I love seeing all these different perspectives. It's so great.
Ash, that's... You, of all people, should know...
Tell you what, if I notice something amiss with her, I'll take her to the nearest hospital myself. Is that good enough for you?
My mouth opens, then snaps shut almost as quickly, forming a thin, hard line instead. I can't respond. Not because there's nothing to say. On the contrary, there's plenty. So many things I can use to reason and get him to agree. But because he speaks with much certainty, with much reassurance, it feels like there isn't even a choice. All I can give is a long, deep breath and a reluctant nod in the face of it. Before I can get a grip of myself and my own weaknesses, the mood immediately shifts and I'm being tackled into a hug.
Thanks, Becca.
It's always been you with him, isn't it?
Did you say something?
Me? Nothing. Don't mind me.
A lie, obviously. What else can it be? Each and every smile, a tiny effort to keep things as they are, or so I tell myself. Little do I know, this is merely a preamble. It starts out quietly and without fanfare, amidst friendly jibes and harmless teasing, with a scrap of paper fluttering harmlessly to the ground. One that looks suspiciously like a cheap Halloween prank, no matter how you look at it. And yet, despite how ludicrous it all is, Isabella stubbornly insists, as if our whole life depends on acknowledging the truth in her story. Does she even realize how absurd she sounds now? Crivens, even my students wouldn't fall for this.
Isabella, aren't you taking this a bit too far?
She doesn't give me time to regret nor think over my choice of words. From there it escalates, growing to an argument too petty even for our standards as adults. Before we know it, one after another, harsh, scathing words are being spoken.
It's not a joke! Will you guys listen to me first? I saw something in the house earlier. It stood right in front of me. If I hadn't gotten away, that thing might have...
Right. And in broad daylight, Isabella. Even someone gullible would find the logic in that screwed up.
There's also no way in hell that this supernatural shit is true.
Why are they, like, paraphrasing the... That's weird.
But it's real! What do you think I saw?
A hallucination? A delusion? Didn't you say you fell down some stairs? So maybe Rebecca's right.
It happened after, when I was trying to get away. I almost got stuck in the same room with that thing. We're all in danger. I thought you were my friends. Why don't you believe me?
But someone has to be patient in all this. And however much my own has already been frayed earlier, there's no one else. Who else here can deal with someone selfishly acting like a kid? Like every other time, it has to be me.
We are, and you know that. But this thing and that thing has got nothing to do with the other. When Rose called earlier, I thought she's just exaggerating. But based on what I'm seeing right now, maybe it's better if we really postpone this for now.
Don't bother.
Just like that, she cuts us off. Slams the door right on our faces while my own temper flares before I can stop it. Although it falters briefly at the hard expression on her when she snatches the blasted paper from Ashton, I hold on to it. Regardless of how upset she appears, soured expression and balled fist, throwing a tantrum is simply unacceptable. For a grown woman at that. Words form at the tip of my tongue, ready. But before I can open my mouth and let all of it out, her feelings and mistakes be damned, Zachary raises a voice of his own.
Guys!
A warning, underneath the warm and hopeful beat in his voice. We all stop and look at him, but even my own anger subsides a little at his tone.
Why don't we all calm down first? I'm sure Isabella has her reasons too. No need to be hard on her. And hey, ain't this supposed to be a happy get-together?
To an outsider, it may sound like a desperate request, but Zachary has always been the one to keep a level head over petty squabbles. This time's no different. He knows what to say, and when he lets it fall, they only ring sharp and true.
We haven't seen each other for months. I'd really love to know what y'all have been up to. I only ever get to talk to Bella over chat. Please.
And as careful as he is with his own tone, it does make me feel ashamed. We're supposed to be here for him, to give what little support we can give, yet here he is trying to keep 3 stubborn people from outright hashing it out in public. Later we can and will talk about it, of course. There's a proper time and place for it, and at the moment my anger and whatever reprimands it carries no longer matter. Beside me, Ashton appears to have already caught on. The lines of his shoulders ease to something much more relaxed, his expression back to its unusual nonchalance. Isabella, however, she stands perfectly still, her hands clasping the straps of her bag like a lifeline, eyes trained at some point near her shoes. There's no anger in her face, only an undeniable hurt. But she's never been good at hiding what she thinks. Always the open book, always the one to wear her heart out in the open. And when she looks up, her answer is also as simple.
If we keep arguing here, we're going to miss the first few minutes.
Her lips are curled up in a smile. Though lacking both its usual brightness and glee, it's a smile nonetheless. I've seen it countless of times. It's the very same one she would show when she has no other choice, or simply when things get tough for her. But despite everything I already know about her, it still catches me off guard. In all honesty, I expected her to run, to balk at the first sign of losing this time. I won't even be surprised. At 26, she is the youngest among the rest of us. Less experienced, less accustomed to dealing with trivial quarrels like this. Yet here she is, holding herself and coping with it like how she would with matters concerning her family. Outside of that, to me, she has always been this childish, naive girl, and watching the opposite play out right now, somehow I find it difficult to wrap my head around it.
All right, that's the Isabella I know.
Oh, good. I thought for sure you were going to cry.
But I envy her.
What was that for?
Stop calling me a crybaby! I'm not one!
Aw, don't cry.
Stop it!
I envy her spirit, her warmth, her cheer, the shine in her eyes when she looks at the world, how everything seems to simply fall back to a pleasant, lively rhythm with her around, how easily and tightly she fits into our lives, even without bonds only long years but could forge, like a lost piece of a puzzle despite her jagged edges, how she draws people to her with ease, how Ashton, of all people, can be drawn to her.
Okay, scaredy cat then.
That too! If you repeat that, I swear I'll...
Let's just go.
I make no effort keeping the bitterness from my tone. I let it seep, linger stiffly in the air as I avert my gaze from them. From their playful banter, their friendly teasing remarks, and Ashton's tender, affectionate smiles. All before the stabbing aches in my heart change into something too painful to bear. It's all in my head is what I'd often tell myself. Yet the way my heart rends at just the sight of them hurts. And like a coward, I walk away from all of it, taking with me a small hope the movie will distract me. I can speak English. The movie will distract me away from these thoughts. Because like this, it's easy to find something to hate in her. Okay, yeah, I think it's, I think it'll be about 20 minutes, but I'm gonna go ahead and end it here because it's a whole another scene change, and I don't know how long it'll last, and so yeah, I mean, it was kind of a nice episode because it just was basically replayed all stuff that already happened, but just from a different perspective, so that was cool. So yeah, I'm gonna have another glass of wine before I start another recording. And we're just going to crank out more Rebecca because we got a long way to go. She's got the longest story so far. Ashton may be longer. Luke may be longer. I don't know. I don't think so, though. I think she'll have the longest one. So, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. And I'll do the best I can to make it right. Llama Joe. And I'll catch you guys later.